Right, okay, so haven't managed to do any crafting today, but might do a little bit later this evening. But this is my first bit of exercise for today. Hubby's got to go take one of my sons out later, so I'm doing the walk. And I've got a very good dog with me here, so I'm going to go round the block and then I'm going to go up at the park and let him off. So I'm going to say it's about a 20-minute walk, maybe 25-minute walk. Yesterday evening I did, a really long walk, 20 minutes somewhere, 20 minutes back with hubby. So I'm definitely making progress. Once I start walking, the pain tends to wear off, and then when I get home I'm in a bit of trouble, but whilst I'm walking it's not normally too bad. This is the view from the top of a very steep hill. This is an absolute killer coming back up again, but I'm only going partly down it, so yeah, I really struggle coming up this hill. Oh, dogs all over the place. No. Oh, he's decided he wants to be by there, which means he's going to wee, so we don't want that. Sorry. Okay. I think I'm going to need to get a camera thing that sort of straps to me. It's almost impossible holding a phone, a dog, a ball, without getting tied up in knots, really, isn't it? He is literally looking at everything and sniffing everything. Look at this, what an amazing view. I have to sit down, because after I've been walking about 15 minutes, my back just hurts so much, so brilliant that I've got this opportunity. Do your ball again. Drop it. It's not always very good at dropping this ball, but today it seems to want to do it. Can't do that much with him because he does have a problem with one of his legs, so just a few throws because he is. Come on, Surfy. You drop it. Good boy, you gonna drop it there, are you? Don't mind why you drop it, just drop it. Good boy. Oh, where's it gone? Where's it gone? He's done with it. Drop back down there, is it? Give it to me then. Let go of it. Drop it there. Drop it. It takes time, doesn't it, and patience here. Right, we got it. I'm going to go for a longer throw this time. That'll do him. Oh, lovely it is today. It's blowing a nice gentle breeze. Welcome everybody. So hopefully you've seen my little bit of exercise with my dog Surf, and just been out and about, and I did weigh this morning. It's Tuesday, and I have lost another pound, so that's really good, isn't it? So that's great for my health journey. Today we're going to make a couple of things. We're going to be making some dangles, which could be used on anything, some paperclip dangles, and I'm going to show you some different ways of doing that. And we're also going to be making a healthy living, wellbeing journal, tracker journal, whatever way you want to make it. So I've got lots of ideas to go in this journal, and it's going to be very tactile. So I'm going to show you from this view, and then we'll go top down like we normally do. So this is a scrapbook paper that I've selected, and I'm going to be using in here some material as well as some papers to gather it together, and it's going to be a very sort of tactile journal because of that. Now you don't have to do that, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. If you've not seen how to sew a journal together before, then look at my last video and you'll see step by step how to sew a journal together. So I'm going to do that again this time, but possibly not in so much detail. I was saying in one of my videos that when I'm down or stressed or tired, I go for eating to get that instant hit, and that's very difficult for me when I'm dieting. That's one of the main reasons why I do always go back to putting on weight. And the other thing that's happened to me recently, which is something that maybe hasn't been so obvious to me, is I will just spend stuff kind of, for gratification. So quite impulsive. That's what I'm looking for. I couldn't think, quite impulsive. Now, I've never worried about spending money, especially if I've made a lot of money in my business or the money is there, okay? But this is different. This is almost like it's taking control of me, and I want to stop that. So at the minute, I'm on a no spend until my birthday, which is July. The only time I'm going to break that rule is if I need glue or basics to be able to do it. So I'm going to be using what I have. So I'm encouraging you to think outside the box and use what you have as well. I have a lot of stuff. You may not, but I'm going to try and use what I've got. So rather than just go and get everything that is beautiful, I'm going to try and make the actual project beautiful using using stuff that I already have. So one of the things I used to do, and I will be showing you how to do decorative planning on this channel, is I used to do decorative planning, and I've got some old planners, so I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to be using these squares as trackers in the journal as well, and clearly this is not particularly attractive, so I'm going to make it attractive. Okay, so today when we do the journal, we're not going to be having the finished result, but hopefully enough for you to see how it's going to be beautiful and how it's going to be used. So that is the plan. So yeah, let's get cracking, and I just need to go and find my needle. Okay guys, I'm going to try and keep you in focus as much as possible, but as you can see, it is a very big journal. So I've chose to do a document style journal, but a large one, and inside do I plan to do that? I don't know. I've kind of mixed up papers and material and that sort of thing. I've even put some book page in because I just want a really eclectic tactile look. And don't forget, we'll be putting trackers in, we'll be putting affirmations in, so it won't look like this when it's finished. But yeah, I wanted some mix up of stuff. I don't know if I intended to put that one in there, so let's get that one out. All right, so I've shown before how to do this, so I'm not going to talk it through like I normally would, but I'm just going to measure a piece of paper that I can fold.
In the midnight glow where the stars align, we lose ourselves in the rhythm divine. Underneath the sky painted with dreams, we're chasing the echoes of silent screams. Caught in the spell of the cosmic night, where fantasies bloom in the pale moonlight. We'll let go of all that we know and dance in the stardust's gentle flow. Dancing in the stardust, we're weightless and free in a world of wonders. Just you and me, lost in the moment. Our spirits ignite as we twirl in the magic of the cosmic light. Among constellations we'll find our way. Through the celestial symphony we'll sway. With every step we leave our cares behind. In this celestial ballroom, love's defined. Caught in the spell of the cosmic night, where fantasies bloom in the pale moonlight. Dancing in the stardust, we're weightless and free in a world of wonders. Just you and me, lost in the moment. Our spirits ignite as we twirl in the magic of the cosmic light. The shimmering galaxies will find our way, guided by love's everlasting sway. With each celestial heartbeat we dance on in this cosmic gate, as we twirl in the magic of the cosmic light.
All right, we've got the journal together, just the main thing. And now, so when it comes to things like that, you know, by the time we fill this up, it's not going to be too bad, okay? So, but we're not looking, as you can see, I've got all sorts of different shapes. This will get trimmed eventually. I'm going to add on pieces of paper to material and material to pieces of paper. So it is more of an eclectic sort of style and nice and tactile. We've even got a piece of lace in there, look. And this is really old paper, so it is going to potentially damage and rip a little bit more than what I'd like, but that's okay. So there we go. So for the time being, let's just cut off the edges that are definitely hanging out. Let's cut these off. And that one. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to do is I think I'd like to add some lace onto the front, okay? And possibly some down there at some point, but I'm going to add this lace on. And hopefully my glue, which is running out, my Fabri-Tac, will be okay. So I don't want to cover all the pattern up. To be honest, what might look quite nice is this, across like that. I think that would be good. Yeah. So while I'm letting that warm up there, let me show you some of the things that I want to use. So this is a colouring book, which I haven't done much in, but I did really like that quote there. So I think that really speaks really well of progression with well-being. So somewhere I want to include this in the journal. There are some nice things here as well that I might put in there. So say I'm trying to use things I already have. I still have some watercolour dyed paper, which I'm thinking the trackers could be mounted on. So if you don't have something like this, which I doubt you do, it would be very easy to go on the computer and just make boxes. So I'm going to need 7 of those, and then I'm thinking that that could be notes there possibly, but they may have to go that way, almost definitely. But to make them look prettier, I can mount them in there. I've also got an old sticker book, which, because I used to do decorative planning, we use a lot of boxes. I think they're going to come in handy. Just because it's a foodie thing. Now I know I'm not trying to encourage you to have chocolate, but I've got some old chocolate scrapbook paper there. And I've got some highlighters for highlighting the trackers. And I've also got some lined paper which may come in handy. So we're obviously not going to be able to do all the trackers today and all the decor. This is super duper good glue, so I possibly don't need to glue it everywhere. So just the light amount for the lace. I will do an overlay for you anyway for all the things that I'm using. But again, you don't need to use all of these things. You don't have to decorate it in lace. I'm just showing you how you can use a combination of paper and fabrics to come out with something which is tactile, because I think when something's really tactile, you may be more inclined to use it, perhaps. Not sure which way around this is. Don't think it actually matters. You will hear the seagulls, everybody. Okay. If we go down that way, then we've only got 8, so we've got 1 extra. And I think that works really, really well. So that's what I'm going to do there. Now I don't have enough of these to go all the way through this journal. I've only got a few. So I will be making my own. It may be that I use those stickers. It may be that I just cut up bits of paper. I don't think it matters because we're going to heavily decorate this journal eventually. I mean, that might be, well, it will be on another video, but actually adding loads of embellishments is the fun bit. We're just trying to get the basics in place at the moment. And I'm not going to label them a particular week, so I can leave it flexible. So if I don't manage to get around to it one week, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we have that. We will need to put days of the week on there, won't we? And let me see if I want anything behind it. I think that looks really nice like that. It gives it a little bit of an older look to it. So let's do that. Different glue, different glue. I've got plenty of this glue. So how are you guys? Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying the idea of mixed crafting and healthy living. You know, I'm going to be on this journey for a while, so, well, a lifetime, more than likely. So I hope you're enjoying it. I mean, if you have any ideas and suggestions for crafts that you'd like to see, if I am somebody who does those crafts, I can make a mental note of it for the channel and include those crafts. And there will be some times when I do meals with you, so if there's any particular meal or snack you want to see, let me know. I did actually cook tonight and I never thought about recording it. I wouldn't say it was a particular healthy meal, it was just an okay one, so maybe it wouldn't have been that helpful. But I like that, okay, that's good. Okay, so that tracker's going to go in. Obviously this is wet glue, so it does take a while to sort itself out. If you've never done dyeing of paper, so these were just food colourings, and you need like a tray with a depth to it, and you soak your papers a few at a time, and then you can put them in the oven on a gentle heat. I'll show you that sometime if I get around to it. All right, so that's in. I'm not going to write on it yet because it's still wet. But that's going to have the days of the week on it. We'll neaten this up a little bit because, as I say, this was an old roll of paper, which is very, very fragile. This is where all the encouragement is going to go. All the affirmations and whatnots. Pictures and nice little bits and bobs. Sayings, quotes, anything that is going to help me, anything at all. Okay, so because I do have this here, I don't know why I'm looking at that one, but I actually really like the look of that one. Okay, I've got some new pens. I think I'm going to colour it in first. Let's have a look at the colour scheme. Let's kind of go down the purple route just for this one. I wouldn't necessarily have thought of doing colouring with you, but don't rule out colouring as you know, something that's not good enough as a craft. For one, you don't have to think about it. It's easy and it's not challenging. And for two, you can include it in other crafts as well. So yeah, don't rule out colouring. going to imagine where it's going to go now. I think that would be lovely there, don't you? I hope you can see. Yeah. And then I'm going to trace the lines to match that colour. And this is just an idea. Throughout the journal I'm going to use different ideas. I'm going to use stickers, I'm going to use lace, I'm going to use papers. This is just the first page. Pop that one there. Obviously I still need to be able to get to the squares. There we go. I'm going to tell you a story about work today, which is the epitome of embarrassment, but I'm sure it will make you laugh. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to finish these square outlines off. We'll go for quite a dark for here. And what do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need all of those. Okay. Already it's starting to brighten it up, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, today at work, it's a new job, everybody, and I'm in a meeting laughing about something, and guess what happens? I let out a little, but it wasn't such a little. It was quite loud, actually. I don't know whether what's happened to me over the last few years, because I never ever used to do that. I might get a bit of indigestion or something, but never would it happen the other way around. So I just had to apologise, and thankfully it was nearly time to go home. Anyway, I'm going to make myself a coffee and we're going to get straight on with this project. So, you know, I call that embarrassing, but I'm going to be working with people who've got lots of difficulties, and that's going to be the least of my worries or theirs. So, you know, everything's relative, isn't it, guys? Everything's relative. So also today, what have I had to eat today? So today I went back to the Weetabix today. I find that before I go to work, Weetabix, it seems to be something that I crave when I'm getting up earlier in the morning. And then I took with me an egg salad with mange tout, spinach which my husband's growing, lettuce which my husband's growing, some cherry tomatoes, a little bit of couscous just for a little bit of carbs in there, and some chia seeds on it and sesame seeds. So it's a really, really healthy salad with a bit of light dressing on it. Really, really, really nice. I knew exactly what calories I was going to be eating, and I had an apple as backup if I was really hungry, and I had a tiny little pot of low-fat yogurt with some honey on it and a few nuts in it, and I knew what the calories were, okay? But this is life, this is what happens. Now, bearing in mind this is a new job, so like I want to be polite, I want to be sort of part of the team. I want to be grateful for being part of such a lovely team, because they really are the best people that I've ever met. You know, work-wise, amazing, because I used to work for myself and that was very different. Around came, it must have been somebody's birthday, around came the cupcakes, and they were only little with icing on, and I didn't want to say no because I thought it was really rude, so I said, oh, thank you very much, put the cupcake on the side on the desk. In my mind I'm like, I'm going to let the boys have that when I get home. I mean, it was tiny, so they wouldn't get much. But I was like, I've got nothing to put this cupcake in. If I put it in that packed lunchbox, it's just going to be everywhere by the time I get home. And I ate it. So I know how much it was. It's about 200 calories, but that now means I've got to be so careful this evening. So careful. I've had a dinner which was mixed rice, flavoured rice with some veg in it. So I had a smaller portion than I gave to everybody else. And then some chicken, bacon, and sort of more veggies in like smoked paprika and Cajun kind of just sauce that I made, homemade. So the meal itself would not have been a massive fail. I'm going to say it was probably about 500 calories, I reckon. 500 or maybe 600, but I'd already had like 700-800. So now I'm, I've got 100 to 200 free for this evening, so that's quite tight. But anyway, that's my story from today, and I'm going to make this coffee, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to join you back at the table. Okay, so we're back. So it's only embarrassing if you're embarrassed. Well, I certainly was, but there we go. So I've been thinking about this. If I divide it into 3 areas, it's just not going to be enough space. What I'm thinking of doing is just literally writing the days and then using a much, much smaller pen to write what I want to write in it. So let's go for, shall I try some nice writing? I'm not very good at it, everybody. These pens are quite big. I can give it a go, maybe. Maybe we just go for the letter, because that is gonna mean we can do it a bit nice, but we're not taking up too much space. Okay, I think that's passable, apart from the fact that, yeah, but anyway, that's passable, isn't it? Now, I'm already on Tuesday this week, so I don't really want to write anything in, but to help you guys out to see what type of thing I might write in, I'm going to, okay? So based on what I've just told you, we're going to talk about the food, okay? So we could just do, I mean, if I thought this through, I would have done a colour that blends better, but food, mostly okay. Cupcake. Then why I might put that is like, what might have done about that? What could I have done about that? Could there be another strategy around it? So something I need to think about, because it's going to happen again and again at work, isn't it? Exercise. Only work. And I do walk around a little bit at work, so it's not completely sedentary. So no extra steps. Okay, so already the combination is not good, right? However, it's just a reminder that you're looking at a whole week. So the fact that that's today has not gone great, but this morning I weighed in and I've lost a pound from last week. So I might over here put what the wins are, so that I'm not constantly looking at, what hasn't gone well. Well-being. I'm going to say I've recovered the situation this evening in a way by doing the crafting. So I'm going to put crafting there, and that has kind of eased the pressure for me. So that's the type of thing I might write in there. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. As I say, over here would be the fun bits and the bits that kind of make us feel not having a bit of fun. So I'm going to put something about chocolate, because One of the things I found about previous diets is, yeah, people say, well, I don't restrict myself, but if you never ever, you hardly ever allow yourself anything that you really enjoy, the chances are you're not going to last very long, are you? So I am going to put this here. Quite like the look of it anyway. And what else can we have? So let me just have a look at what I've got. Got more fabric. That green goes nice with that. I don't know if I've got enough glue. Couldn't think of the word then. And that is really nice there. Do you know what I think? That just feels lovely. So opening up the journal and feeling that is great. Anyway, if any of you don't know that pure chocolate and the darker forms of chocolate are actually quite good for you if you don't have too much of it. So if you didn't know that, I'm telling you, that dark chocolate especially is great for lots of things. You just still can't have too much of it because of the amount of fat and sugar in it, but let's put some material on just to show you can mix up your mediums here. And we're not even starting to get decorated on this yet. This is still basic, okay? Really basic. Now, clearly you're not going to get that many weeks tracking in the journal, I realise. So if you wanted to get more in, then you can put one on each side. I am going to put one on, when we get here, on this side. So I am going to get 2 per page. But you could add them in more and more trackers if you wanted to. We'll see what happens to this glue. That would be fine if you want more trackers. Or you can try and do a monthly tracker, but then you're not going to get much written. You're just going to be ticking on a monthly tracker. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Now, because that's nice and tactile, that lends itself to some lace, I think. Okay. Now, you may not want to spend out on lace, and that's absolutely fine. If you want to get cheap lace, you can get it from the place that, you know, lots of people aren't too sure about, Temu. You can get a very good amount of lace for not a lot of money. I sometimes get mine from scrap stores and stuff like that, so there is that option as well. And I'm just going to say now, a little bit of lace on a journal makes a huge difference to its look, if you like that. Because this is all about you and what you like, not what I like. There we go. Pop that on, let it dry, and just be careful you don't let things stick together. Now this is basically a piece of scrapbook paper where I've added in the past lots of scraps that I've had. It's called, what's it called? A mood board? No, a master board. And then on top of that, added some pretty stickers just to complete it. So one day I'll show you how to do that as well. But I'm looking for something. What I would try to do is not ruin parts of it, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to cut around there. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to come around there, sort of down again. And then not ruin that bit. That bit's very, very thick, actually. I'm not going to be able to use all of this, otherwise we're going to cover up the whole of that material. So what is it I want? I think I want her. I don't think I want this. Now I could literally put affirmations on here, but then they can go all the way around these pages, really. So what I'm thinking of is having an actual piece of paper I can write on. About there. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to show you, which is the third part of the video, because I don't want to spend hours on this journal because I'm going to be coming back to it to show you how we can continue to increase its tactileness, if you like, and its usability. I'm going to show you some ways to make dangles, because that can be included in any journal. And if it's a paperclip dangle, it can hold things in place for us as well. So that's the next thing that I'm going to show you. Not to forget, we still have the teddy bear journal, and that will appear. So Dawn, if you're watching, don't worry. I will be doing some of yours on my TikTok lives as well as on here, so don't worry, it will happen. I just want to show lots of different things that people can try. Right, I like that. Let's put that on there. Yeah, it's a good start. It's a good start. So here's a dangle that I've made, which I think would look really lovely in this journal. Originally I had it onto a paper clip, so I might still do that. So I have these paper clips which are not very nice, and so all we have to do is make that longer and tie that then onto the paper clip. But I also tried to make this into a hidden paper clip and do this, and I'm not sure that I've got a method that is kind of tried and tested for that. So more than likely we'll do it like this, but we'll make some pretty options to include in the journal. So I hope you'll stick with me for the next part. So we've got the last little bit now. I showed you before my crafted roots dangle, so you can make dangles for literally anything really. This was a quick one that I did just to demonstrate the paperclip situation. So you can add charms, beads, anything you want. We're going to add a little bit of ribbon as well, but this paperclip is one that, you know, is unattractive. So we're going to get another one of those, and we're going to use different blends of beads to have something nice for this journal here. So I am going to use Crystal Tech, which you normally use for bracelets, just because it's quite durable. But you could use anything you want, as long as you know it isn't going to snap, and you can thread the beads through. All these were claimed off of live shopping channels on TikTok, but be warned, that is quite addictive. So yeah, you can get them off of Amazon. Decide how long we want to make it. So always leave yourself a little bit more as well for tying. So it doesn't matter if you have more, but if you end up with not enough, that's a bit of a pain, isn't it? Got that. Oh, these are really pretty. So are these. I thought I'd go like quite dark for this, with quite a natural look, being that this is crafted roots. And possibilities of these. Open these up. So these are natural beads that come in strings, so you take them off the string. I do really like those actually, so let's go for some of those. So you cut the string, you just have to be careful they don't go all rolling all over the place. How many of those should we have? So being a dangle, it's not going to be really big, is it? Whoop. This is where I do need one of those things. I don't even know what they're called, but next time we do a dangle, so I try to do a dangle quite often on the videos, different types, and I'll show you what I mean. Got the blues. I'm thinking maybe we have some gold. And some all but the kind of colours. And maybe have a star. Ooh. So one of those. Let's have one of those instead of the star. Try the butterfly as well. I was going to go for those, but I have used those before. They are pretty, but they're quite a strong colour. So because we've got other colours on there, maybe we have some of these. Oh, these have been tied with like a cotton. So you can do that by the looks of it, with smaller ones. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tie it to the paper clip. We could do it there, or we could do it there. But I think I want to do it at the top. There's more than one way of doing this, I'm sure you can imagine. It's just a little bit of fun, so I'm also thinking that this is going to go on, so I'm going to put that on now to get a feel of the tone of the ribbon, and then I can kind of judge what I like with the beads. So we could tie that into some sort of bow, but at the moment I think I just want it to dangle down with the beads like that behind. That's pretty. Now you could in theory use the ribbon for the whole thing, but just remember that most beads don't have a hole big enough for that, so you could end up with a bit of a problem if you do that. Now if we find that being at the top this doesn't work, we can always move it down the paper clip, yeah? So if the beads don't work this way around. Right, first of all let's go for a blue. Just make sure you guys can see. And let's go for one of these. So if you haven't subscribed with me so far, then please do, because it just means you're easily going to find me. Hopefully you'll get notified if you press the bell and you press all for the notifications, then you will find me then. And it just makes it a lot easier for you. When the content comes out, you can decide if you want to watch it or not, but at least you know it's come out. So yeah, give me a subscribe. Okay. So I'm going to keep the blue as what I call the base colour, because we've got quite a lot of blue in this journal, haven't we, on the front. So I don't want to tie it down to blue entirely, but I do think blue is featuring, bluey green is featuring. There we go, it's pretty. Let's now have this one. There we go. It's a beautiful day today. So I've done this bit separate from the other video, and it's really warm today. We just have my grandson here, so that's really pretty. Now how is this going to look? I'm going to try the butterfly next. Okay, it's the wrong way round, but it's quite nice against that one, isn't it? Let me see what else we've got in here. Yeah, I think maybe we've got other options. It would be okay, but I think these might be better. Let me open this one. I think I quite like the bow, actually. Let's put the bow next to that. Oh, that goes that way as well. Okay, never mind. That'll be okay. I think that's going to sit better. I like. And let's go for a blue again. And do you know what? I'm not going to use the gold. I'm going to use this one. These are especially pretty, these beads. How are we doing? What else do I want? I could introduce a new colour. Let's see what we think. We're going to have to go longer if we put that one on, because it's like the only one there. So we're going to have to adapt a little bit. That's not so strong. Yeah, let's go for that. Why not? And I think that might be it. You can do whatever you want, obviously. With a dangle, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. I do think that's long enough, but I feel like it needs a finishing touch. Let's see. Try the butterfly on the bottom. It may or may not look okay. But I like that, yeah. We'll finish it off with that then and do a nice knot. So that will go in front of there like that. Hopefully you can see that. And I wonder whether a little bow would be nice here. Let's see. That is cute. That is cute. And I'm going to let that dangle as far down. Could wrap the ribbon around, but I'm just keeping this one pretty simple for you guys. So that'll be like that. Not sure how much that would stay. And then that would come down alongside there. Let's cut all the stuff off we don't want. And let's get it pinned on the journal. I mean, we're going to have it further in the journal, obviously, but for the minute, it may not be a good idea that I'm pinning it on this fragile paper, but just to show you how it's going to look. So we can have it dangling like that, or we can have it dangling the other side. It's pretty. I think that's something nice added to the journal, isn't it? Yeah, guys, so I hope you've enjoyed that video, and I really look forward to seeing you on my next video, which I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it will be a combination of health and journaling, crafting. Wait and see. We'll wait and see what we do. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on Crafted Roots for my next video.